Cool. So I just wanted to say a big hello to everybody. Thank you so much for getting on the call tonight. We really appreciate your time. If it's your first time on Zoom, don't be scared. I love it if you can show us your face. It's always nice to be able to see who I'm talking to, but totally understand if you're chasing children. So my name's Noreen Macdonald. And tonight's call is going to be about half an hour. We're going to try and keep it really short and sweet for you guys because I know that your time's precious. So basically, this is a bit exciting for my husband and I. My husband's on the call. He's the Arron that's on there. And we have started a new business called The Choice Lifestyle. It's been going for a couple of years, 2.5 years to be exact. But we've only just done all our branding and we're really excited to roll this out kind of through New Zealand and also through the rest of the world. And the reason we called it The Choice Lifestyle, there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, because of course we're in Cuzzy Bro land over here. And, the word choice is used quite a lot in New Zealand. And the second reason we called it The Choice Lifestyle is because, to be honest, we believe that you always have a choice in life. We don't believe that you are stuck in life. We believe that we all have the power to create the reality we want to live in life. And that's what we really want to inspire in you guys tonight on this call, is to realize that you have the power to take your life back into your own two hands and to turn it into something that you really, really want. So a little bit of background about us. I'm a naturopath and a yoga teacher. My husband, who's on the call, he's going to get on the call a little bit later and do some sharing. But he's been working offshore in the oil and gas industry for kind of the last 20 years, doing FIFO, fly in, fly out work, which is really hard and really stressful. We have a 7-year-old son. And about 3 months ago, we made a really awesome decision, but we had to put our big boy pants and big girl pants on because we decided to walk away from oil and gas for good. And as you can imagine, cutting off those golden handcuffs was pretty damn scary. But there's a method to the madness, and on tonight's call, that's what we want to do, is to share with you guys how we've actually managed to do this and to create for ourselves this new way of life. So there's a couple of things that we're going to share about, the tools that we use to get our mindset in order to do this sort of move, and also how we've managed to create multiple streams of income to allow us to actually still live and to do what we do now. So Arron, who's on the call, is actually tuning in from our house bus, which is in the Marlborough Sounds. And I work still in town just 2 days a week, and that's in Nelson in New Zealand. So I'm in my office still tonight. So just to give you a bit of background, in terms of feeling stuck in life, we do know how it may feel because we have felt stuck plenty of times in our life. 20 years ago, I finished naturopathy and I started my own business, and it was a failed business. I had it for 5 years. I felt incredibly stuck. I was frustrated. I fell into depression. I couldn't sell my business. I had to walk away from it. It was really, really hard, but I learned a lot of lessons on the way. We went and worked in the super yacht industry over in Europe because I guess for us, we've always been chasing a way to retire early. Both Arron and myself, we don't agree in working 9 to 5 for 40 years of your life. It just hasn't ever sat with us properly. And from a very young age, I've realised, my mum always said to me, you can't stick to anything, but actually it wasn't that. It's just because of the fact that I could never handle going up to my boss and saying, hey, can I have, next day off? And they say no. I've always believed that we are meant to control our own destinies. So, yep, the super yachts, we felt pretty stuck in some ways because we got pretty attached to the money, but we sold our souls kind of to the devil because we were chasing just money. And then, of course, we have felt stuck for a long time in doing this fly-in, fly-out work. I mean, the money is great, but you do use that word sacrifice a hell of a lot, and it becomes a crutch. You say to yourself, I'm sacrificing my family for, setting ourselves up for the future. And yes, it was an important part of our life to set ourselves up. But in the end of the day, we looked at our life, kind of last year. Arron was hugely stressed, and he really started to lose his kind of, he turned into a shell of a man. That's how he described himself. And to be honest, that's how he started to look. No offense, babe. And I was super stressed. I was running a few different businesses. I was solo mumming it half the time. So since Bo was born, I've brought him up on my own half the time. And anyone can tell you that's got kids, especially single parents, that's bloody hard work. And I turned into a mum that I wasn't that proud of in moments, but I felt stuck in life, that I didn't have a choice. But last year we realised, you know what, we do have a choice, and that's what we're going to go through tonight. So how have we gotten to this point in life? I'll be honest, we've done lots and lots of personal development. So we're going to talk a little bit about the tools that have really helped us in life to get to where we are today, living a life that we actually love. And the first tool is vision. So I want to really inspire you guys to get hold of the vision that you want your life to look like. And you need to write it down. There's no point just having it in your brain. You need to get it out onto a piece of paper. So write the details of it down. The way that we manifested, and I do believe in the word manifestation, our property in the Marlborough Sounds, is because we had a journal and Arron and I wrote down all the different qualities that we wanted in a piece of land. And you know what? We found it. So the power of manifestation is real and it is true, but you've got to believe in it, but you've got to do the work. So write down very clearly the goals that you want to achieve in life. Start with this year and then work your way forward. The other thing that we use a lot is vision boards. So if you don't know what a dream board or a vision board is, I would totally go and Google it. There's so many resources on the internet. And actually get your vision put down in words or pictures that you can stick up on your wall, and you want to imagine yourself stepping into that vision every single morning and creating and attracting to you what you want in your life. We also did a lot of personal development work about values, and I'll be honest, we only did this probably last year, and that was part of this online business that we're a part of now. But figuring out who you actually are is incredibly important. Figuring out what are you passionate about in life is so important. And you know what? I say to people all the time, go, so what lights you up in life? And people go, what? And I say, what lights you up? What gives you joy? And you know what? It's really sad because for a lot of people, they have got no idea because they're living in this 9-to-5 grind of work, kids, sleep, eat. So they've forgotten who they are. They've forgotten how to dream. So we do a lot of training with people about how to get hold of your values. And if you're interested in that, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to share with you the documents that we use to dig deep to find out who the hell are we and what are we into. When we did the values exercise, what we figured out is that for Arron and I, our top 3 values are family, health, and being in nature. Well, I tell you what, last year our family was apart a lot. Our health wasn't great because we were both stressed, and nature was something that we did on the weekend if we were lucky to make it to the beach. Now, currently, in the life we're living now, we have family a hell of a lot more. We live in nature in the Marlborough Sounds of 9 hectares of bush, and our health is better than ever. I'm 42 and Arron's 40 and we're feeling great. So from doing all this personal development, we realised we had a dream. We wanted to inspire people to help them to grow, to help them to believe and to dream again in their own personal life. So that's how the Choice Lifestyle was born. And what we needed is we were looking for a vehicle that could pay us money while ticking off our values of family, health and nature. We wanted a business that we could earn money while we were sleeping, that it was an uncapped income because, of course, we were walking away for some pretty good money in oil and gas. We also wanted to choose who we could work with. I've always been self-employed apart from when I worked on the super yacht, so I don't know what it's like to work with people that you don't like, but I'm sure my husband will share on that later. And we wanted the ability to work from anywhere in the world, particularly our house bus in the Marlborough Sounds. Now, those things are relatively hard to find in a business, we found, and we went through looking at property investing, share market, investments. We looked at Bitcoin. We looked at, obviously, just normal businesses, franchises, and blogging world. And a lot of the businesses we looked at fell short on one of the things that was really important to us. The two things that stuck out for us, there's actually three, but we're doing two of them at the moment, and this is where we're getting to the earning multiple streams of income, is number one, Airbnb. We made a decision to kind of modify our house a little bit so we could have a very small part of the house for ourselves. So actually we've got our master bedroom now, which, yes, when we come to town, it sleeps Arron, me, our son, and the dog. You realise living in a house bus, living small, you also live big. You really can do that. We're such consumerists, and we think we need all this space, and actually we don't. So Airbnb has been a really important part of us generating a stream of income and letting other people pay off our mortgage. So if there's any way that you can create that, whether it be a little studio in your backyard or even getting boarders to move in or whatever, that is a great way to earn an additional stream of income. And then the other thing that fell into our lap about 2.5 years ago, and this was by sheer coincidence, is that one of my friends I went to high school with, Nat, she was posting on Facebook and she was looking like she had a pretty fabulous life, to be honest. And I reached out to her and I said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm a whole food coach and I'm a national marketing director for Juice Plus. And I said, well, what's that? She said, it's fruits and veggies in a capsule. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, because as a naturopath about 2 years ago, I decided I only wanted to use supplements that come from whole foods. The reason whole foods are so good for our bodies is because they heal your whole body. Unfortunately, the industry of natural health has become just that, and a lot of our supplements that we now buy are synthetic and they're isolated vitamins and minerals, which personally, as a naturopath, I don't think is the way that nature intended us for us to uptake our nutrition. We have fruits, vegetables and berries, and we have whole grains that are a great source of nutrition that our body understands. So anyway, get to the point, Noreen, is that Nat said, hey, look, fruits and veggies and berries in a capsule, there's a business associated with it. You might want to look at it, seeing as you're already in that industry. And I said, okay, tell me a bit more about it. She said, it's an online business. You can do it in the way you want. It's in 26 countries around the world, so you can build internationally if you want. It's a very simple business model, and you don't have to have any previous training. So we were like, well, why not? Why don't we have a look at this? I'll be really honest with you. The only thing that scared me away was I said to her, is it one of those things? And she said, what do you mean? What's those things? I said, those pyramid things. And she said, no, it's not a pyramid. Pyramid schemes are illegal. So to be totally honest, if you were to say to me, I was going to be sitting here in front of you talking about network marketing 3 years ago, I would have gone, there is no freaking way in the world. But what we did do is we saw an opportunity, we saw a glimpse, we saw a tiny bit of hope, and we thought, let's just do some research and let's see what this business model is really about. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, network marketing has got quite a bad reputation because people oversell it and they underdeliver. It's a business. You buy a franchise, which is a tried and true business model, but you still have to work. So if you thought that listening to this recording was going to mean multiple streams of income with no work, then you're very wrong, because nothing comes for free. However, the business model itself is incredibly intelligent, and I now think that network marketing is probably the smartest business model in the world. Why are more and more businesses turning towards it is because it is the business of the future. So that's what we started to research. And Arron and I just sat down and we thought, look, let's just give this a shot. We know nobody eats enough fruits and vegetables. You're meant to now have 7 to 11 servings of fresh fruit and veg every single day. We tried the products. We liked the products. It was very simple and uncomplicated. That's what attracted us to this business model. And I remember one of the guys in the business saying, what is it that you don't get? The fruit, the veg, or the berry? And I liked that because it's that simple. The other thing that we loved about the business model is it's extremely cheap to get into it. To buy a franchise for Juice Plus, it's only $172.50 with the potential to earn as much as we wanted. So we took the risk, we dived in, and you know what, guys? The only thing that we have done is we were brave enough to look at the opportunity. We were open enough to not judge it and throw it into the garbage bin. We have been patient. Okay, we've been in this game for 2.5 years now. And the most thing we did is we have a lot of fun. So from doing that and sharing it with our friends and our family who shared it with their friends and their family, we've now managed to build a beautiful team of people across the world. We've got business in 7 countries. We now earn a passive residual income. So talking about multiple streams of income, it's really important nowadays because job security is not what it used to be. And I think all of you would agree with me on that. The residual income, what it means is that you get an amount of money that drops into your bank account every single month, no matter kind of what you were doing. Okay, that takes time and it takes patience, but if you follow the system, you can definitely get there. So our opportunity with this, what it's given us is it's allowed my husband to completely retire from his job. It's allowed me to work only 2.5 days a week in my clinic that I'm sitting in here. But most of all, it's given us the biggest gift of living in our values. We now get to do the things that we love a lot because of this business model and the income that's coming in on a monthly basis. So guys, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritties of how the business model works. The aim of this Choice Lifestyle call is to inspire you to have a look at your own life. I want you to sit down and think, if I don't change anything right now, what does my life look like in the next 6 months, 12 months? Project yourself forward into 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And I want you to start to get a vision of what you want your life to look like. And if what you're currently doing isn't going to give you that, then please reach out to us or whoever sent you the recording of this call. And we'll be more than happy to go through with you one-to-one about how the model actually works, about some of the values exercises that we help people, the personal development, etc. Just reach out to one of us. But now I'm going to flick it over to my hubby, Arron, who's going to do a quick share on kind of what life looks like for him now compared to what it did like a few months ago. Go for it, babe.
Thanks for that. Okay, hi guys. Hope you're well. Hope you're joining us okay. I'm currently sitting in the middle of multiple sounds in a house bus. My boy's just gone to sleep, hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm just chilling and doing some design work for the next day on the sort of projects I've got on the table that I want to get into the next sort of few days. We're working at the back for my boy's room and so forth that we're doing. So yeah, quite a contrast to where I came from a few months ago. There's Jesse, who's on the call at the moment, knows what I was doing. And so I was in oil and gas in the catering department and had been for just under 20 years and had done a lot of work, to be honest, a lot of work. And built myself up to the point where I was into management level and looking after multiple contracts and dealing with quite heavy people, government agencies and this kind of carry on. And what it really started to happen is I started to really look at what it was actually costing me, not what it was making me, not the money, because that money sort of stayed the same no matter what I did. And what my job role, the money was very similar, very, very similar. What I made as a semi-high manager to what a newly cleaner made was actually quite similar money. So the money was very similar, but the stress and what it took from you was it just got more and more and more. So at the end there, I was doing a role where I was supposedly working Monday to Friday, but I never got any time off because the phone kept ringing because there was about 100 staff that I was dealing with. And it just basically wore me down. And over the stage of about 8 to 10 months, I just ended up pretty much a shell of a person, and the work started to come home, i.e. I started to have anger issues with my boy and had anger issues even at work, if I'm really honest, because I was not handling the stress. It was just too much. And you start to get used to it, which is not a good thing. People say, "Oh, you get used to it," but that's not right. Like that's not how your body's supposed to be made. You're not supposed to get used to stress. You're supposed to reduce stress or stop it. And there's two things that happened really. There was one, sort of losing a little bit of my son, my boy getting to the age of 7, and I knew that 7 was an age where he needed a father. And the other thing was my father actually passed away, and he passed away quite young, 63. And was just getting to the point where he was starting to look at life after work. He's always been just working and so forth, but those two things were pinnacle moments for me, because with my dad passing, I started to look at what this business and what this work cost, like what it took, not what it gave me, not the money, but what it took from me. And what I realized when I got into it is that it took everything. Like it took everything. You know, it took your time, but also took your downtime, because once your brain is stressed and you're worried about work, then you're constantly there. You're never not there. And we had a moment. We came out to hear the sounds, and we're sitting here as a family. And I mean, I should have been in the best place in the world, because I was in my happy place where I love to be, but I wasn't here. Like, I wasn't actually here, because 40% of my brain, even more, 60% of my brain, was still dealing with staff and issues. But I guess what we got to is that we realised that we had the choice to change it if we chose to. Now, look, it's not easy decisions. They're quite big decisions, and they come with changes, and they come with things that will not be the same. But it's a decision that needs to be made. We need to be brave, and we needed to think about. I was thinking about Bo, is what I was thinking about. I was thinking, well, if I don't do this soon, me and him aren't going to have a great relationship, and that will last for me forever. This job's a job, job's a job, and I say it to even the employees I had when they'd ring me up and tell me that their parents got cancer or something, and I tell them this is just a job. That's life. This is just a job, and they're all just jobs. I mean, look. I went from being quite a senior manager to everyone getting 100 phone calls a day and so forth, to when I quit and left and walked away. Do you think any of those people phone me now and bug me? No, because I'm no longer important to them. I don't have something that they want from me. So now I'm just cast aside. You end up just being a number. So just remember that something you'll give everything to, in some places will replace you within 7 days. And that's the reality. So basically what I wanted to say to you guys is we just want to inspire you to look at what you want from life, and look at what your life at the moment is A, giving you, but B, taking from you, because that's what it's about. And you get one shot at this, as what my dad leaving showed me, is you get one shot. And I wanted to make sure when I'm old that I can have a relationship with my son that I'm proud of, and we're close, and which is happening. We've done 3 months now out here, and we're different people to each other. We have. It's not been all rosy, I'll be honest with you, but that's good, because previously I was just a guy who came and went, whereas now I'm a dad. So look, the biggest thing I can say is look within and then look without. Because if you look within what you want, what you really, really want and need from life, then you can look at what actually is happening around you and make the changes involved. So I guess I'll hand it back to you, Noreen. That's pretty much all I have for tonight. So thanks for getting on the call, guys. Jesse, it'd be great to catch up again, my man. Talk soon, my man. And yeah, thanks for that.
Thanks, babe. Always inspiring. Love hearing him talk. And soon, guys, the long-term vision for us is more so that I won't be here in town. I'll just be out in the bush with the boys and our beautiful dog as well. That's the gift, to be honest, of multiple streams of income. Like I said, if you guys want to know more information, if you want to work with us directly, we have an amazing team of people. We want to blow this thing out of the water, because I tell you what, I don't know how Kiwis survive over here on the pay rates. That's why we kept going back to Australia for the money. I know why we moved here. I'm Australian originally. It's because it's an absolutely gobsmackingly gorgeous country and the people rock. But everywhere I go, there's two things that people are stressed with: health and money. So we feel like we've got something that can help both of those problems in life, and we would love to give that gift to you guys. So we're going to be doing this call every single week. Arron and I are committed. If you know anyone, if this isn't for you, that's cool. But if you know other people, can you please invite them on next week, this same time? And you never know whose lives you could change by just reaching out to them. But I wanted to say thank you, all of you, for getting on the call and being open, guys, because that's the first step. It really honestly is. And just reach out to us or reach out to whoever sent you the recording of this call. And I hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful evening with your whānau. Bye, guys. Thanks for getting on. Bye.